Hey Marie, how are you?
Oh, hi, Elisa. I'm great, thanks. How are you?
I am very, very excited. I just got back from a Starseed Connection event that I just thought of creating a people meeting together on video, and it was you can tell I got the energy, the vibration. It was very high, so I really enjoyed having everybody there, and it was a blast. And I got to figure out how to do something for people in your side of town for the Australians because they have a
Mm,
weird, funky time frame. So,
yeah, exactly. But
yeah,
it's so important, I feel, that there's somewhere for people to go that are like-minded, like-hearted, that want to communicate, because it can be quite isolating through these times. So I think it's
yeah,
a beautiful idea, Elisa.
yeah. Well,
So,
everybody had just a fantastic time. I'm hoping that a lot of them will join over here. But
yeah.
so today's um, topic, hopefully, will stay on task. If we don't, it's fine. You know, I like to go with the flow. So, is missing memories. And the reason number one is because a lot of people come to me with missing memories, with like, I can't remember anything before 7 years old. I can't remember
Mm,
anything before five, whatever. And I myself fall in that category too. So, is it a walk-in? Are we walk-ins, or are we, or did the missing memories go somewhere? Or, so there's a lot to that we can talk about. And
mm,
um, hi Shanna, hi Lisa, hi Marsapa, hi Mary.
mm.
So yeah, so a lot of people that come to see me have this problem, and
Yeah.
so I figured it would be good to talk about it. And before we get any busier, so I can calm my energy down, you can go ahead and start with the.
White light, meditation and clearing. So, so what? This is actually a beautiful way to start your day, or if you're feeling a bit
Okay, here we go.
stressed. What you can do is just drop into your heart, and I'll talk you now through a beautiful white light clearing. So, and I'll be running energy with it as well, so you'll actually be receiving some energy and frequency to help you clear. So I just want you to close your eyes, just take a big breath in, and as you breathe out, yeah, drop into your body, just let yourself be present. Now one more breath in, and this time as you breathe out, drop into that beautiful big heart of yours. And now see, sense, or feel, or have the intention of white light beginning to birth deep within the heart. This white light begins to expand, moving through your heart and your heart chakra, releasing any pain, any blocks, anything that is not of love. And as it expands through your body, up through your chest, your neck, into your head, into your mind, all the way back down through your arms, your abdomen, hips, allowing it to freely flow through your legs, right down into your toes. And then this beautiful, vibrant white light keeps expanding out into your aura, your energy field. And as it does so, it releases any cords, any hooks that are from you or to situations where you're leaking energy, clearing, increasing your vibration, bringing through a sense of peace and calm. And as you sit in this calm, you know you can come into this place at any time. And then we just gently bring our awareness back to our heart, back to our breath, wriggle our toes, and begin to bring ourselves back into the here and now, being fully present and peaceful.
Very good.
Yeah, it's
Very good.
very calming doing that. So, and of course we have to remember we have our little Jasper with us.
Jasper.
And he had a word for you, Elisa. He said, I'm not Marie's sidekick, she's mine. So we had to have a chat about that. Yeah, we had a chat. so, so Jasper is an amazing crystal skull that brings there's downloads that come with Jasper, and I'm connected in through my own energy with the wisdom that comes from deep within the cosmos. So he'll often pop in and give me images or give me some wisdom that's coming through. So
Wonderful. Wonderful. Okay, so we're going to start with the missing memories reading. So what does the universe want to tell us about this? Because again, it could be, hi Valentine, hi Desiree, hi Erin, hi Christine, hi Joyce, hi Mel. So yeah, so what does it want to tell us? Or which is the best way to ask this question? Because you would know.
That's what I'm doing at the moment. So I've also had interactions with lots of people over the years with the healing work I've done, and people tend to open up to me quite a lot. And I've heard so many times, like you said, I can't remember anything before 4. And with especially my male friends, they say even before 8. And so I've actually done some work with that in questions, but I'm going to ask the cards first, and then I'll talk about what I've got in the past with some kinesiology and muscle testing with them. So beautiful. So the cards that came up, the first one that came up is the World. So what I'm getting from this is, yes, this actually affects everyone in the world. So it's not, it might only, so it might not just be 4 years. Some people might not remember anything for a small amount of time, but every single person on earth is what this World card is telling me. This is something that, and a lot of people just don't even think about it. They don't even go back in and ask the question. So yes, that's definitely a yes with that. And then Judgment. So this is really interesting. So, and as I look at this, there's children in there, you can see that. So what starts to happen is, what I'm getting is that as we go through life situations, we start to self-criticize, or we start to have a perspective of something that can create memories. So we're probably born pure. We might have some genetic and some lineage memories. However, it actually starts to come through with our self-judgment. And I've got a great story about a friend of mine that we were just talking about this literally yesterday. So I'll talk through that after this as well. And then what I'm getting now, what's coming through for the present, is the 9 of Cups, which I love this card. This is telling us that all our dreams and wishes, all of our what we've wanted will come true. And what I'm getting as well is that we don't need those memories. It's like it's happening now. So it's our life in this moment, how we're reacting, how we're feeling, and what we do with it. So, but yeah, and so first of all, can I talk about the kinesiology that I did with some people around this? And it came up that they didn't need to remember it. They were actually just like this, the Judgment card. They were in this pureness. And as a midwife, I've actually seen souls or spirit going in and out of the mum's tummy, and I've seen them around the aura as well. So, and that can happen for the first few years. It can sort of come in and out. It's not, they're much more, children, babies are much more connected to spirit, to the other realms. So memories of Earth are maybe not as important as they're integrating in. So I don't know, what are your thoughts on that, Elisa, like with people you've done, sessions with?
So some of the answer has been, like you said, there's a reason you don't remember. You don't need to know. There's no reason to know that information. Now, the reasons for it being different, it could vary from person to person, right? It could be that they had trauma, so they blocked it. It could be that they had trauma and somebody else blocked it,
Yes. Yep.
Or it could be that you are what we said before, the walk-in, that you're a walk-in and you don't remember.
Yeah. And I know we're going to be talking about walk-ins next time, but what I've found with talking with people is that it seems to happen when they're a little bit older, is what I've felt. I don't know what you found, but we can cover that in the next one.
The walk-in?
Yeah. Oh goodness. Yeah.
Yeah. I forgot to bring this up.
So it's interesting, because 2 cards just fell out as we were talking about that. The first one was Temperance, And to me, temperance is about changing home, changing situations, so which is really
Ah,
ironical. Usually, though, it's quite peaceful. It's quite a peaceful transition. And then strength came up. So the strength is around having the strength within the physical body to actually integrate, more that's coming through if it's a walk-in. So that was just an off-the-cuff thing that jumped out. They don't often do that. So,
so
yeah.
can you find out like the percentage of people
Mm.
that, out of all the people that don't remember,
Yep.
what is the percentage that is because they had trauma and
Yeah.
they blocked it?
Yeah, absolutely. That's, often. Okay, let me just. All right, I'm going to fill these ones out. No.
You're welcome, Liba. It was my pleasure. She's talking about the starseed connection.
Oh, beautiful. Okay. Eight. So what I'm getting is on some level, the Lovers card was the first one that came up. Now, to me, this is always about our internal relationship with ourselves, with our perspective of life, with our spirituality, with our feminine, masculine aspects. So no matter what the external trauma is, it's how often it's perceived or the emotion that goes with it, because this is the heart, this is the emotional aspect as well with the Lovers. So that was the first one. And then the second one was the Page of Pentacles. So I'll go to the percentages in a moment. But the Page of Pentacles to me is always about a learning. It's about someone young or some youth, something that's happened in our youth that's actually affected us. So that's, in life, so in our reality.
Mhm.
And the card that came up was actually the Eight of Wands, which is spiritual. So I would say around about 80% of our
It-
memory loss, apart from those first few years, is actually through trauma. Now, whether
Trauma.
that's perceived trauma or whether that's physical trauma or an emotional trauma. So, but around 80%. So, and if we look at children are so sensitive, aren't they? So, as children, we can be picking up on an adult's emotion or the situation and feeling the vibe and then bringing it back to us and thinking it's us thinking, and that then we create a memory around that or think we've lost a memory because we don't understand where this emotion has come from. So, yeah.
It is, and to be honest, the the like we talked about it, like it's we don't need to go back there.
No, we don't.
We don't need to go back there. We don't need to remember. But you and I had talked about, well, okay, I have to remember, but how do I heal it? How do you heal something that you don't remember? Um,
Exactly.
so you and I, we work on
Mm.
this, but what did the cards have to say? Because maybe there's a better way than what we're doing. So
Exactly. And it's it's interesting because I'm just pulling the cards now, but it's interesting because I've always felt that the emotions, actually experiencing the emotion, acknowledging the emotion, owning the emotion is what then
exactly,
helps us to grow, to expand in our
exactly.
consciousness, spirituality, our emotional maturity. And if we didn't have those things happen, then we just blandly walk through life and we wouldn't grow and we wouldn't learn.
Yeah,
And
yeah. And that comes through is that
yeah. Oh,
when these things are happening to us, it is for growth. It is absolutely for our growth.
yeah.
So it makes us who we are, and it adds compassion to our being, because some compassionate beings for others. So it's like almost like the way to create that. Now the new guys, the new kids, the new babies, they're coming in with built-in compassion, so they don't
Yes.
have to go through the trauma. But for us, then it was more about the lesson, and then becoming a helper to others, compassionate to others, and helping others go through what we've been through.
Absolutely agree with you. And that empathy that we gain, you can't get that unless sometimes you've experienced a situation that, and it doesn't even have to be a similar situation to someone else. It's often just the emotion that's evoked and understanding how that makes people feel. So, yeah, and it's interesting because the first card that came up was our little devil. So this is what we would call our trauma or our situation that has triggered us. And this as well, remember that we do carry epigenetics, which are, close to the DNA. And if something is traumatizing, it can activate something within our body, and that can be physical or it can be a mental issue comes up. And they say, oh, that's just in the family, but it often takes an emotional trigger to actually trigger it. So whatever it is that's triggered us, that little devil that we always judge and go, oh God, sometimes it can be the most amazing thing that happens in our life when we get through it. So, and that's why the next card, which is the 10 of Wands. So the 10 of Wands is spiritual, and it's been a hard journey, but it's now come to a completion and to a way of seeing things differently, feeling things differently. And once we get that, it's almost like the memories become obsolete. It's like, or the emotions aren't attached to the memories anymore. And then again, we've got our beautiful 9 of Cups coming up. So all our wishes and dreams come true. Our souls experience what it's needed to experience, to expand, to learn its lesson, to tick it off, to then, as you said, Elisa, to have that compassion for others. So this is beautiful because this is really sharing and wanting to give that love and that care to others that need it.
Mm-hmm.
So it can happen in many ways for people. Like you said, for some people, it's simply knowing what has happened rather than even experiencing the memory. So can I talk about my friend that we were discussing?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I've got this beautiful friend, and their family was English, but her dad traveled a lot for work. So they were living in Africa, and she had this pet monkey, and he lived in the forest near their house, and she'd just go and play with him all day, every day. And then something happened and they had to leave the country very quickly. And she said from that moment, she felt like she'd lost memories because she doesn't remember saying goodbye to her monkey, who felt like her brother. And she was quite traumatized by it. And she said the situation that was happening, she didn't know what it was, but she said she just remembers feeling this self-loathing. She didn't even know what it was back then. She was 8. And that really affected her. That patterning affected her all through her life. Now, it wasn't until a few weeks ago, and she's sort of, my age, she said she found out what had happened, and she'd been picking up on the emotions coming from the family, from the parents, and didn't know it. And so she was blaming herself for abandoning this monkey. I'm going to cry. This is because that has actually damaged her whole life. And as soon as she found out what it was, she said, I felt this energy go through me. She said, I felt myself drop into this place of peace I'd never had since I was 8. And it's virtually like, because she does her own work anyway, but she said it was like something cleared just from the knowledge of what the situation was. And she realized she didn't have any memories that she'd lost. It was just an abrupt trauma. So that's another way of looking at it as well. Maybe we're not missing memories. There was a trauma, and so we thought there should have been something else that had happened.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
So yeah, it was quite an amazing story. So,
Wow. Very good. Very good.
so
So do any other questions come to mind around the
well,
missing memories?
yeah, I guess the same thing happened. She was telling me of a friend of hers that had actually been put out for use by the family, and couldn't remember it, but always felt there was something wrong or something missing, and was always looking for it, and then would bring different relationships in that would mirror something that had gone on. And so finally, when the truth came out, still didn't get the memories back, but there was a real sense of release from that. So yeah, so that's fascinating. But I can pull some cards on that for anyone else watching, because this can trigger people. So anyone else that's watching, just know that as we're talking, there's also healing energy coming through for you now. And so just remember to come into your heart and just allow whatever feelings you're getting. If you're getting tingling or you're getting emotional or whatever, it's actually healing something quite deep within you. So yeah, I'm going to pull some cards on that. That one wants to come out. Oh, fantastic. Oh. Yeah. And if if you are experiencing something, maybe pop it in the chat so that other people feel, oh, I'm not crazy. I'm actually having these experiences.
Right,
So,
right. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'll do one more.
I know Lisa had put something here. Oh, okay, about walk-ins. Yeah, that's going to be our next subject after we're done here. But
okay. So the first card that's come through that's telling me that everything's actually going to be okay is the 10 of Cups. This is like the 10 is a new beginning. It's relationships. It's what's going on in your world. It's your relationship with yourself. The cups are emotions. I actually had a feeling there'd be lots of cup cards that came through today because a lot of this is both based on emotion. So this is like, the rainbow's there. It's like, oh, I've got through this. And life will change. It's like your perception of life will change. And Jasper's just jumped in and said it's actually what will happen is you'll connect more into a bigger part of an aspect of your consciousness and then connecting this through into other dimensions. So all this work we do, all this soul contract we come in with and go through, it actually does increase and expand our consciousness. So that's what I'm seeing in this one. And then the next one again, this always happens, Elisa, eight of wands. So the 8 of wands to me is it's very spiritual again, but it's very fast moving. So things now in this energy that we're living in on earth and the frequency that's here to support us and all of the beautiful modalities or the beautiful energy work and whatever it is you need, it comes through a lot quicker and things are shifting quicker. It's not like, way back. It was so slow. It would take sometimes lifetimes to get through one emotion and one trauma and one pattern. Now it's like, it can be like this. So, and then the third card that came through is the 3 of wands. So this is someone looking out into the future, much more stability, actually having a bigger perspective of life because of what's happened. So yeah.
Very beautiful.
Cards that have come through.
Yeah, definitely. So we can now turn into the walk-in discussion because you said around 20% will be walk-ins, right? That they don't remember because they're walk-ins.
No, it was 80% from trauma, but 20%, it might only be 5%.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So the 20% could incorporate other things. So it could be that that fact that we don't need to remember. It's just not relevant. So I'm going to pull a card on the percentage of walk-ins. So, and I'll do this first, and then I'll tell you about a friend of mine that we know.
Well, should we ask first if walk-ins are a reality? I mean, I know they are, but like let's start from the basics.
Oh, I agree. And also too, it's what's our definition of a walk-in? Because some people sort of, have maybe a perspective or an image of like, an alien being walking in and just taking us over. And what does a walk-in actually mean? That might be another really good way to thing to ask, just to clarify, what are we talking about here? Let's define. Okay, so some cards have just jumped out. Okay, so the first one, again, it's that Page of Pentacles has come up. All right, so remember the pages, and this came up when we asked the question just before as well. So that it's still early days. It's bringing something into reality. It can be a message as well, or learning. It's about a learning. So, and then the Lovers has come up again. So again, to me, this is saying it's an internal contract. It's something that is between your soul, between yourself, and then the angel is quite big in this one. So there's some sort of angelic presence that's coming through. So what I'd say here, just looking at that, because it's really taking my attention, a walk-in can be a higher aspect of ourselves. So because we're all connected, it doesn't necessarily have to be, like, it's not an outside entity from what I'm seeing in this, okay? And then the moon's coming up. Now, the moon is around our psyche and deep, what's the word for it? It's like deep misunderstanding or a deep forgetfulness. Oh, here we go. I couldn't remember it. A deep forgetfulness around something. So it could be a contract, or what we've wanted to experience it here as a human, to also have another aspect of our being coming through. So when the moon comes up, it's always very, very deep in our psyche. So, and it can change a lot within us. And then the Queen of Swords has come up. Now, the Queen of Swords, to me, it's around not quite mastering. It's like learning, having the ability to actually get the mind around it. So actually being able to integrate the mind with this presence coming through. Okay. And that, I know that's been a stumbling block. I know some people personally that we've actually worked out there is a walk-in. So it's almost like a whole different aspect of their consciousness and being coming in. So that sort of makes sense to me. So yeah. So to me, so what that's saying to me is it's still an aspect we're connected with. It's not something that's completely external or alien coming in, but it can be quite different. So, okay. So for example, years ago, I've got the ability to tune into aspects of consciousness of myself in other worlds, other realms. And so, we can go through our soul chakra, and I see it like a train station. So there's all aspects going out into different parts of our divine being. And I've seen myself as like a little octopus on a planet, but I knew my energy. I could feel it. I went, that's me. And then there was another being that I knew was higher wisdom, and was saying, I can help you. It's okay. We'll work through this. So, but for some people, they choose to have an aspect come in and they experience it here on Earth. So, yeah, I don't know. Have you had anything like that come through, Elisa, with your
with the
people?
sessions?
Yeah.
So I would like to ask if it's possible. I mean, I had not thought about it could be a higher aspects of themselves, but for example, I did a interview yesterday that I'm going to post. I have not had time to edit to post it, but in that session, this person is a guardian, and she was originally a Pleiadian soul, but then an Arcturian and a Syrian or Andromedan, anyway, came in together after that Pleiadian soul left, because it was like, I don't know. So I never thought it could be that those were aspects of herself. Okay. Right? In my mind, they're separate beings, but now that you say that, I'm wondering if that's really what it is. It's just as higher aspects of herself.
Okay. So that what you just said then has brought up a whole different scenario. So so this is why it's really good to define. So thank you for sharing that, because I was alluding to people that were still alive. They may have gone through a trauma, and it's funny because the Tower cards come up. So they may have gone through a trauma or a change, and that's when the contract was meant to flip in for them to bring through this other aspect. So, but if they're leaving their body, and here's the Magician, which means that it's hidden. It's like a mystery. It's magical. So that soul could leave the body, and then a different aspect or a different being could come through if it's contracted.
Correct.
So yeah, so that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, and then the Hierophant. So the Hierophant is all around an authority figure. It's around a divine being that brings through wisdom, and people follow that. So I feel that it has to almost be like a contract. It has to be on a divine will plan.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. So does that sort of help clarify between the situations? Because there's probably many more that we haven't even thought about or asked questions around.
Yeah. So I would like to specifically ask if when is it always a higher aspect of ourselves, or can it be a partner or a related entity to you in a different dimension or a different?
Yeah. Let's have a look and see. Jasper's already showing me some images and how everything's connected, so which helps.
Good.
But I'll bring through the cards because it's really nice just to see it come out clearly. as well. Okay. Ooh, okay. Interesting. Okay, I'll do 3 because I feel that one wants to come out as well. Again, strength. Okay. So the first card that came out is the 7 of Pentacles. Now, when the 7 of Pentacles comes out, the Pentacles is about actually working on something. So you can see how it's been set up, and he's still just working on that final bit. So if we're talking about another aspect coming in or another being coming in, we're actually all connected anyway. So if we're all coming from the same source, whatever it is, again, there's been work done around this to allow it to happen. Okay, so it's, again, it's saying to me, this has to be done through divine will. So it could be from any dimension, it could be, but the body has to have the strength, like we talked about before. Again, this card's come up, has to be able to integrate it. It has to be able to settle into it. I've actually got 2 friends that have had walk-ins. Like, that's really unusual. Oh, we didn't. Yeah. So it's really unusual to have 2 close friends that have gone through this experience, and quite different experiences. Okay. But they both said they've had to integrate it. Okay. And the Queen of Pentacles. So our Queen of Pentacles is contemplating how this changes the reality that we live in. Okay, so this is the learning. This is the just really starting to get the idea of it, or knowing how to work with it. Okay, so yeah, basically yes.
So that matches what Yukia, her name is Yukia, was saying yesterday in the interview. That's what basically happened. It was like her body, first of all, she had to have the strength to be able to support an Arcturian and Andromedan, I think. So her body had to adjust for several years before those 2 could come in. Imagine the the frequency, the vibration of these 2 high powered energies in her body. So yeah, her body took her 3 years to adjust, so that the Palladian soul could really kind of just go, because it was like her next level up, I guess. So yeah, absolutely, it's exactly what the cards just said. She had to get ready. She had to have the strength. She had to have a higher knowing. So the last card, right, was that she would have a higher, like a higher knowing. And that's exactly what happened, right? Those 2 newer souls were going to give her higher learning, higher knowledge.
Absolutely. And the 9 of Wands came up. So this just means it's hard work, and you're sort of nearly there, but it's been a trauma. And one of my friends that this happened to, she said she only could really start to explain it. It took her nearly 8 or 9 years to have it happen. And I saw the difference in her when it really finally clicked in. She said at first she felt like she was living with 2 people in her body. She was going, what do I do with this? So, but she, and she, it was, and she had to release a lot of other lineage trauma and karma that was within her. So she went through quite a lot. And then all of a sudden she said it was like just clicked in, and she could feel it, but she knew for years this was going on.
Yeah.
So so it actually is same as what you're saying, Elisa, with your client.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So I wonder if a walk-in, so you said it has to be agreed to by contract.
That was what
much.
was coming up. I'll check it again, and that was what Jasper was showing me, that everything was connected, but there was a lot of work that was done before it actually happens.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they have to get the body ready to accept.
But and even on a spiritual level, frequency level, emotional level. And that's why with my friend, she had to go through so much emotional stuff to actually be able to, now, my goodness, she's just flying. She's just manifesting. She's just, I can see her light. It's quite an incredible change. So,
wow. So can we find out what percentage of
the 20% that isn't trauma is
No, like what
no?
percentage of walk-ins, I forgot what I was going to ask. It had to do, um, the walk-ins that come in, what percentage are, okay, we'll ask this. What percentage stay in the body till the end?
Really good question. So
Because they don't, according to the video, she said that the walk-ins that are coming in, which are millions right now,
yeah,
into our bodies, are are staying in for like several months. They're not here
yeah,
till the
yeah,
end of life, I guess.
yeah. I'll do 3 because I always get a better picture with 3. Yeah, okay. So the first card that came up was the Fool. Now the Fool is stepping into the unknown. Okay, it's like jumping off the cliff, not knowing. So sometimes too, it depends on that integration and how well it goes as to how long someone will, or how long that will go on for. And if the contract is around it being longer or shorter, or yeah, like you said, it's just for a short period of time. So sometimes it's unknown as to how it's going to actually pan out.
Oh, okay.
So
That's good to
and
know.
yeah, and so then the six came up. So whether that's six, well, 6 is always around change as well. So whether it's 6 days, 6 weeks, 6 months, 6 years, it depends on that contract with that person. So you can see this is moving away from something, but it's going towards something better.
Mm-hmm.
So no matter how long or short it is, there's always going to be a better outcome
Okay.
from that experience. And
Okay.
then the 8 of Cups came up. So I don't feel this is around time. This is just around walking away from a situation. So when I look at this, the 3 cups on the top are really standing out. So
Mm-hmm.
no matter what happens, there's going to be something good that's still there. So this person's walking away, and whatever's done is done. So if it doesn't work, it's okay. If it works, it's okay, because like we know, this is actually it's experimental, some of this stuff as well. So because as humans on Earth, we're in one of the most unique planets ever, and I've been told this, it's through God. It's like, this is actually a huge experiment. Yes, we have our divine rules and we have this and that, but at the end of the day, it's how's it going to come out? What's going to happen is part of it, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
so yeah. So does that
So
answer the question, or
no.
okay? So
The
yeah,
question was percentage wise, how many are, let's just say we got to pick one or the other. So percentage wise, how many stay till the person dies?
okay. Amazing cards just came through. Again, it's unknown. This is what I was trying to say. So
Oh, so it
yeah,
changes
it
based on what happens in that lifetime, I guess.
that's why the cards were coming up. It's really difficult, yeah, to give a percentage. So the Ace of Swords it'll be it's unknown. It really, this is what I'm getting. And then the 10 of Cups. So these are really positive cards, which means it could be 100%. It might be 1%, but it's in between.
Somewhere
So
in
it's unknown.
between.
I can't give you I can't give you an exact figure. I tried 3 times, and it's not
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
coming up. Does
Uh-huh.
that sort of help? Just
Yeah.
it's unknown what percentage will. So if the intention of the souls or the contract is we're going to do this for 3 months, or we're going to do this for 6 months, 6 years, it's unknown what percentage will actually get to that date or that time frame.
Yeah.
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 So that's So it's difficult when it's an unknown like that.
Yeah. So, and I'll ask the people that are on the chat if they have any questions around walk-ins before I move on to something else.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because, well, it's a interesting topic.
Mm.
It's very simple, right? It's you're in, you're out, um, it's obvious that it's by contract that you choose for that to happen. So,
Well,
um,
and it's interesting because another friend of mine, he actually had a brain tumor, and he said that he had to be awake when they were doing some of the surgery because of the type of condition. But he said it was so painful that at one stage these blue beings came in to actually help him, and he became calm. And he said the pain went away through these beings that actually came in. And he said it was not long after that that he went on this incredible spiritual journey. He was out, doing a 4-day retreat or something. And he said the things that happened to him, he's actually written a book about it all, were completely, people would have thought he was crazy, but he said that's when he felt that this walk-in aspect came through. And so, and he again was integrating this over time. And I was helping him with that, but it was just the most fascinating story. So, yeah.
wow.
So,
Wow. Interesting. So, let's see, there's a question here. How do you know you have a walk-in in you?
okay. Let's just check with the cards first, and then we can, okay. Jasper's already showing me some different scenarios. Okay, let's have a look at that one. Yep. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So the first card that came up, so how do you know if you have a walk-in coming to you?
There we go.
How do
I
you
lost
know?
you there.
Oh, okay. Am I back? Yep.
Yes.
So the first card that's come through is the Three of Pentacles, and this is always around a situation being created or something going on, something being worked on. So you may get an inkling. You might just, some people may get an inkling about what's going on, but not fully know. So they might never know that they've had what is termed a walk-in. So then it might be done, oh, I feel different. I don't know why. So that was the first card. And then the second card that came up is the Hermit. So this is, to me, the Hermit's always around going inside, having solitude. So some people may know, they might feel different. They might need time out. They might need to go and contemplate that something's changed. I'm feeling different. I'm thinking differently. I can't be around people. No one understands me. It could be that sort of feeling as well. Okay. But also too, this can actually be that higher aspect, or that, that different aspect that's walking in. So that time it's taken to actually amalgamate it. So some people may never actually know to call it a walk-in. They just feel different, or there's something that changed in their life, So, and then the third card, the Three of Cups, which is celebration. So it doesn't matter which way it happens. If you actually know cognitively, because you've, for some reasons, spirit, your divine presence is taking you to read about it, or you've suddenly talked to someone about it and you're going, why is this resonating with me? Or if you don't know at all, but you're just going through a different experience, it's always perfect. And there's the celebration card with whatever's happened. So you can feel it on different levels. So it can, so it can be emotional, it can feel mental, it can feel spiritual, and you might not get anything. You might not even know.
Yeah, you might not even know, but some of the aspects or the things, the characteristics of people that do have a walk-in, that do know or do feel different, is that you start, I think this is something that Yukiya talks about in her session, because I asked her that question in session number 35. It's activations from the Andromeda Galaxy. If Emmanuel wants to look it up, the second half of the video is about walk-ins, and that's a question I asked her. Like, what? How do you know what? How do you know you have a walk-in? And she said, and she kind of gives you all the reasons, not all the reasons, all the characteristics of how you might feel if it is, so you start, the thing is, it's really hard to tell between a walk-in and a spiritual awakening.
Exactly.
Because when you have a
Mm.
walk-in, you're going to spiritually awaken.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, so I feel like a lot of the time the walk-ins are coming in because the person isn't awakening,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But yeah,
I
so
agree.
I personally don't know if what happened to me was a walk-in. I know I am not the same person I used to be.
Yeah.
So was it spiritual awakening, or was it or was it a walk-in, right?
Okay. Exactly. And this is the thing, but like we defined a walk-in, maybe you've actually opened and actually bringing through more of
My higher self.
your higher self, your divine aspects, and it makes you feel differently because you're looking at life differently. And these two cards came up when you were talking,
Okay.
and I didn't know why they had come out, and it was when you were asking about you. So yes, definitely, it's a increase in your spirituality, and that's the Two of Cups is about love, and it's about really merging and creating a new relationship with whatever's come through for you. So, like you said, the signs and symptoms of a walk-in could be really similar because you have a spiritual awakening. Like my friend went through this spiritual awakening, and my other friend said, Marie, I felt like there was two beings inside of me, and
Hmm.
I was confused. And then, yeah, and I think the greatest fear that one of my friends said is that, what if I forget my family? What if I forget my children? And it came up very clearly that no, you won't. Your relationship may change with them, in fact,
Yes.
get better,
Yes.
but you won't forget them. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah, definitely the relationships will change, and sometimes it's not, you might feel it's not for the good, right? Because these some of the
Mm,
people that shouldn't be in your life kind of start disappearing, even if it's family. But in the end, that's all agreed upon. It's all contracts. It's the way it's
yeah,
supposed to be. It's the way it's supposed to happen.
exactly. And it's all
Yeah.
around that law of attraction, that frequency. People just can't reach you. When you're shifting and raising your frequency and vibration, you'll then draw to you that particular type of frequency, and others just can't reach you. It's almost like they forget about you. And I've had that happen in my life, and it's like you don't have to even bother about it, and it's okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah. So
Absolutely. So yeah, Emmanuel, I would say just from what Yukia was saying yesterday, I'm sorry, not well, yesterday also, but from the session, is you feel different. You can feel physically different. You can feel spiritually or emotionally different. I don't get angry. I didn't used to get angry either in the past, but anyway, less angry now.
yeah.
I never get angry ever. I have more patience. Wow, like mega patience now. I used to be such an impatient human being. So qualities in me have changed, um, and I feel that if somebody from the past would come to see me, they would not recognize me because I'm just not
Yeah.
that person anymore.
So
So
and are you comfortable with that, Elisa? Like you're quite comfortable now within being this different person, that you feel you are so different?
well, yeah, because I'm a better person.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just a better person. I'm more compassionate. I'm more loving. I'm more patient. Uh, just all around a better human being.
And that's beautiful, because I feel a lot of people say I'm really scared, and they get quite anxious when they are going through an initiation or a spiritual shift, or bringing in more of their aspect, or walking, whatever it is, and they get quite fearful. And it's almost like, it's okay, it's a transition time, it's going to get better. So it's really nice to hear it from someone that has had a really massive shift with whichever way it was, to know that you come out better. And that's why that Ten of Cups card kept coming out. It's actually going to be better.
It is
So
absolutely. It's definitely nothing to be scared of. Even if it's a bad entity
yeah,
that was contracted,
yeah,
even if that was a bad entity coming in, it was contracted, right? So, and in the end, it's all for a lesson either way. It's
yeah,
all for the learning
yeah.
experience.
And we never
So,
get given anything that we actually can't deal with. And there's always people around to support you. If you ask the universe, please help me, send me someone that's going to support me through this. I want to go with this and change. They'll turn up. So, that's exactly what happens. And the two cards that just came up was the High Priestess, which is all around feminine, masculine, but mostly feminine, but something hidden and mysteries being revealed. And then the King of Cups. So the King is mastering our emotions. So it's around getting to that place where, like you just said, how you feel more compassionate. You don't get you don't get angry. You're actually feeling better. So this is the outcome from what's the mystery that's being revealed. So, but it's a transition time, and some people it'll happen quick. Some people it might take longer. So, yeah.
yeah, they actually utilize bodies. In the sessions that I've done, I've had even in past lives, a woman was a soldier, and she was almost killed, but the body was available for a different soul to come in, and the agreement was made that, okay, yes, I'll use that body to come in.
Yep.
So when people have NDEs, and I think I saw someone here mention it on the chat, that they had an NDE. So when NDEs happen, that is a high probability of that of that walk-in to come in. Yeah.
Definitely. Or again, that transition into such a high frequency so quickly, it can feel like it's someone completely new and different.
Yeah.
So it can go both ways. Yeah, but it's almost like it's meant to happen so you can have this huge infusion of your higher self coming through.
Yeah.
So
I
yeah.
wonder if the higher percentage is that in an NDE, if the old soul decides to totally leave and a new soul comes in, or if they decide to share. What do you think?
Okay, I'm just let's pull a card on this. So we want the percentage of souls that leave completely, like the whole blueprint, everything.
Yeah,
goes,
when either an accident happens, a car accident, or an NDE, or whatever.
So what percentage is it that actually will leave because they were going to leave anyway, and then have a whole new blueprint?
Whole new soul comes in.
Yeah. So interesting. So the 9 of Cups came up first. So to me, that's quite high. That's around 90%.
Wow.
So it just depends on that contract again.
Right.
But that person, that soul, it may have been time for them to go, but the body's still okay. So they could have had a contract. Yep, come in. This is a perfect body, So because let's admit it, this is simply just like an outfit we're wearing, isn't it? So, so I'll pull another one though to confirm this. And so let's have a look at see what percentage it's simply a spiritual awakening and expansion or whatever. So 3. Okay, so that's really interesting. So about 30% will actually have an awakening. They could call it a walk-in, but the blueprint can be changed. So 30% the blueprint actually of the soul could be changed. And there's the Ace of Pentacles directly under it, which is one of the highest sort of cards for manifesting and for bringing into reality. So, so that's it's interesting because it doesn't take like an NDE or a death for this to happen. Because for myself personally, I was in my late 30s, and I remember just downloading, getting, Maree, you've actually cleared the karma that your soul's brought in this lifetime. And I would get, would you like to come back and start again as another child and a baby, or would you like a download and actually have more come through for your soul? And I was like, well, I actually don't want to learn how to walk and talk and do all that stuff again. Oh my goodness, I've done it so many times. It's all good. I'll just hang here in this body. And for about a month, I was so bored, Elisa. I was like, nothing was happening. It was like I was in limbo land. Everything was just floating along. And I went, oh, what is going on? And then the download came through, and then different scenarios started to happen. And it was like I was working through another blueprint. So it can happen even while we're quite conscious and quite aware. So
Okay, so Lisa is saying here she's had 2 NDEs. Wow, and a car accident.
wow.
That's amazing. I had a
Oh,
choice to live or I said just bring me home to my son, but since then things have been
oh.
different.
Lisa,
Wow.
I'm getting goosebumps everywhere when I'm listening to Elisa say that and reading it. And the card that came up for that was actually the 8 of Swords. So it's like made a decision, and the blindfold is not wanting to see. So actually choosing to leave. So there'd still have to be cellular memory and all of that sort of thing as well, within the outfit, the being. So let me just pull another card on that. That's incredible.
That is incredible.
Really incredible. So, and this is what can happen. It can be just normal everyday people and we'd never know, but that experience is quite profound. So the Chariot's come up. So the Chariot is about moving forward, changing direction. There's been movement, quite a big movement. Okay. So it's sort of confirming that. Yeah. But there still is memories. Oh, and this is what my friend said as well, which Lisa might help you. He said that he had memories of things, but he couldn't emotionally be attached to them with his shift and change and walking as well. So, and because of that brain tumor where he nearly died, he had an NDE virtually. So, yep. And the
Wow.
Empress to me always confirms. So this is the beautiful gift of manifestation. So manifesting whatever new you wanted, Lisa, or manifesting what that aspect of you chose, and then bringing through that beautiful, the compassion, the feminine, everything to go with it. So
Yeah, wow. Wow.
thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so it's 5 minutes till, and what I wonder what could be our next topic out of my huge list here. Um, I have so many. Let's see, vows, sleep paralysis, hybrid program, twin flames. Um,
Oh,
oh, well, one question, missing memories. Yeah, who's erasing them? Okay, we talked about that. Let's see, activating DNA. Let's see if we have any other comments of anything, any new
yeah.
topics too.
And the other thing, Elisa, as well with memories, people might not realize this, but the more we bring them up, the more we change them. And it's like through our neurotransmitters in the brain, because then we're adding in different like visuals, aspects, and we actually can change our memories the more we bring them up. So what was actually originally happening can be completely different, even a few years down the track, completely different. So,
Wow.
and the scenario of 6 different people watching the same car accident or something, there's completely 6 different perspectives of it. So,
Right.
but we can change our own memories. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
So yeah, but
Amazing.
I've pulled a little animal magic card for everyone. Remember, these are the beautiful cards that are very healing, hold a high frequency. And so my intention was just for everyone now watching or even watching later on, what is the message? What can we be helped with at this stage? And it's interesting because the Dryad has come up. So, of course, the Dryad is tree spirit. And when I see this card, when this card comes up for me, it means to allow things to come through, to fully integrate and to get back into connecting to the earth, and even asking the earth for prana or for energy. So I just say, beautiful Mother Gaia, can you help replenish me with whatever minerals, whatever energy, prana I need to help keep me balanced and revitalized and rejuvenated. So, and the chakras are really standing out. So, and it's the throat chakra. So maybe do that white light meditation we did at the beginning, but bring it through your chakras as well. And it's about speaking truth. Okay, so it's interesting we're talking about the memories, the walk-ins. It's okay to speak your truth because it used to be really scary. You get locked up if you talked about stuff like that. But it's safe now. So don't be afraid to even be honest with yourself first and then speak truth and ask for help to get some clarity. So
Yeah.
that's why our Dryads come in very nurturing card. So
Very
that's,
good.
yeah.
Very good. Wonderful. All right. Well, excellent. If you guys want or think of any topics that you want us to talk about, let me know, because that might match with some of the ones that I wrote down. So definitely send me any thoughts. Just put it in the comments. So
Beautiful.
yeah, love you guys. What does Jasper have to say?
Oh, just he's bringing through an emotion with it. He's saying, just be happy. So
Yeah.
look for the happiness in your life.
Yeah.
What makes you happy? Is it
Yeah.
hugging a tree? Is it just going for a walk? Is it breathing? Be happy.
Be happy.
Okay.
Well, we'll leave
Yeah.
it with that, guys. Love you so much. Thank you for being here.
Love you.
Bye. See you
Bye.
soon. See you in 2
See
weeks.
you.